Pixel Buds. It doesn't say Pixel Buds 2, maybe because Google knows that this is basically what everyone expected the first time around. These are truly wireless earbuds made by Google. They go great with your Pixel phone or other Android device. They're basically like AirPods for Android. Let's check it out. Now, I will admit that the Pixel Buds is bigger. It's a little fatter. It's a little taller. Basically every dimension, it's a little bigger, but it's still really small. This really has a Portal vibe to it. Is anyone else getting it? Yes. Pretty satisfying. Also has a bit of a rattle. There's indicator lights on here to tell you if they're charged or charging, and it's nice and soft inside and outside, and USB-C charging. That is wicked. They advertise 5 hours of playback on the headphones, and then all together with a fully charged charge case, 24 hours. Looks like they give you an additional 2 sizes. This is smaller and larger sizes of silicone ear tips. No wall wart, but they do give you a cable. Little instruction book. And this is just telling me how to pair. So there's 2 different sections here. There's how to pair with a Pixel phone that's running Android 6.0 or higher, and any other device. It's the Pixel phone pairing, which we're gonna see today on my device, and that is the Magic type. If you look at the other devices section, it pairs just like any Bluetooth headphones. On a lot of headphones, you have to hold down a button on the earphones, and you'll hear in your ear, it'll say pairing. But on this one, the pairing button is not on the headphones, it's here on the case. Oh, it's on the back, there it is. Here it is on the case. And I actually like the pairing button being on the case because having it on the headphones just adds complexity. Usually you hold down the button on the headphones to get into pairing mode, but you also usually hold to hail a virtual assistant. And one hold is just longer than another hold. It's way simpler just to have that on the case. I like that. Okay, so I am just going to open the case. I already paired this, so I don't know if it's gonna do the magic thing anymore. Tap to pair with this device. It's right at the top of my Bluetooth device's screen. James's Pixel Buds. It just named them for me based on my device's name, I guess. That's pretty sweet. It's almost like an integrated app right in the settings. I get the battery level for left and right and the case. All the settings of the app are right here. I don't have to download a separate companion app. That's cool, although that is gonna limit the functionality of the app a bit. There's no EQ setting or, actually these aren't that fully featured to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. For example, these are not active noise canceling headphones. That's why I'm comparing them to the AirPods and not the AirPods Pro. So therefore, because they're not active noise canceling, you don't need additional settings for things like how aggressive do you want the noise canceling to be? How transparent do you want it to be for ambient noises? There are some things you can fiddle with in here, like check this out, find device. Let's say I left this one over there, I can't find it. I can ring the left or the right one. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know why they don't just start it at the highest volume, but maybe if you're like looking for it and it's already in your ear, they don't want to blast you. This is an amazing feature. I love this. And you can see that they're smaller than they used to be. The original Pixel Buds, I think, were like kind of a bigger disc than this, and they were so weird to fit in your ears. You can check out the touch controls in here, but you can't change anything. And I don't actually fault it for that because the way they set it up makes sense. It follows all the normal conventions. And as I alluded to earlier, there's not so many features on here that I have to choose anyway. So you can raise the volume by swiping forward and backward to lower it. And that's nice because not all Bluetooth headphones actually have volume controls on the earphones. But because this is fully capacitive, they can do things like swipes instead of just having to click, triple click, double click. Sick. There's also the assistant, which you can interact with 2 ways. You can hold down, or you can say the hot word verbally, which I actually prefer, although in lots of situations you're not gonna wanna talk at all. The reason I prefer just saying the hot word is that when you hold it down to hail the assistant, it doesn't just go badunk and listen to you. It actually gives you like this little report. It'll say the time, it's 10:47 a.m., no new notifications, or 1 notification from Jake Tivey. So it gives you this little report before you're allowed to talk, which is a kind of a bit annoying. Adaptive sound is kind of like that feature in your car, if you have a nice car, where if you drive faster, the stereo turns up. Basically, it uses the mics of the headphone to see what's around you and raise the volume if you suddenly walk into a loud subway or something like that. In-ear detection, of course, you pull out one earphone and the playback pauses. Very nice. AirPods have had that since the beginning. The thing that kind of sucks though is there's quite a bit more delay than I would like. I'm listening to music, this is great. Excuse me? Oh damn, that was instant. Huh, prove me wrong. Maybe it's because I actually have the app open. Let me try not being in the settings app and just being in my music app. Music's on, off, on, off. That's a pretty big delay. And of course, because it's Google, they really are pushing the assistant on these, and it's actually great integration. You can use your voice match settings, of course, so that it knows who you are. And what's cool is when someone messages you, you can just respond to them without having to pull your phone out of your pocket. So I was messaging Jake earlier, and I'll just hear "Bududunk," and then it'll say "message from Jake Tivey," and it'll just read it out. It doesn't ask me, do you want me to read it? I don't have to do any kind of high friction flow. It just has message from Jake Tivey, penis, 42069, or you know, the kind of stuff that we talk about. Now, if it is a really long message, or an email, or a message from an app that's weirder like Microsoft Teams, in those cases, it will just say, message from so-and-so. Do you want me to read it? Or I think I've also heard message from so-and-so, and they'll even give you a little tutorial like, when you get a message like this, just hold down and I'll read it, or you can reply. Okay, let's talk about how they sound right after this message from our sponsor, Massdrop, who's here to tell us about over-ear headphones. If you don't like the kind that stick in your ear, or you want something bigger, then why not check out the Massdrop X Sennheiser Open Back HD 58X Jubilee headphones. Wow, that's a big name. They're tuned by Axel Grell of Sennheiser and Massdrop based on the feedback from the community. That's you guys, with 150 ohm drivers for a rich and clear sound. You get a 2-year manufacturer warranty, so you check them out at the link below. I am keeping the medium ear tips in because I'm getting a pretty good seal with those. And this little fin that they have on it, you can't remove those, and they don't have different sizes of those, which they do on other, like Jaybirds, for example. But I'm not mad at it. I find it comfortable, and it makes me orient this the correct way and keeps them in my ears pretty good. Now, when I had listened to the previous generation of these earphones, my impression with those original Pixel Buds was that they were kind of distant sounding, but quite bassy. With these ones, I feel the bass is less pronounced, especially the high bass, but there is actually more low bass, and you can see this if you look at the frequency response curve. They're way more forward, they're more like playful and immediate, they're kind of right there. They're very clear and articulate, which means I can hear all the different sounds in a track, all the little chimes and bells that are kind of lower in the mix, I can still hear those. There's good separation between all the instruments. So they're pretty pleasant to listen to, they're pretty good. There is a bit, again, looking at that frequency response curve, there's a bit of a dip in the highs where you can hear the really high trebles, but kind of the mid treble, there's a dip there. The one result of that is that when you hear cymbals, they sound a little more s than sh. Don't get me wrong, like these sound fine, I'm kind of like nitpicking, but if you compare this response curve to what you get on AirPods, like these have way more bass and they're closer to neutral across the spectrum than they were compared to AirPods or than they were with the original Pixel Buds. So I'm really impressed with these. They sound great. Let's see how loud these things go. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. They definitely go louder than I would ever want to listen to, actually kind of damaging, but maybe you're more deaf than I am, or in a louder environment, so that's fine. They have quite a bit of isolation. It almost feels weird to talk with them in. It's like wearing earplugs, my voice sounds different with them in. And I just like how small and discreet they are. They look awesome. And there's also a version in black. This is kind of like the Panda white and black version, but I think you can get all black as well. More executive feel. So the AirPods without the wireless charging case, because there are 2 variants of AirPods charging cases, the most basic one is 160 bucks. These are 180. However, this case does wireless charging. You can put on a wireless charger and charge your earphones. To get that on the AirPods is 200 bucks. So combined with the fact that, you know, it's cheaper than the comparable AirPod, and in my opinion, sounds quite a bit better, I think these actually are pretty good value. I'm not gonna say they're like the best Android headphones to get until we do a deeper dive on LTT where we compare them to like the Samsung Buds, Sennheisers, and AirPods side by side and just see what you're really getting for the price. But my initial impression and unboxing is these are actually pretty sweet, and I wish Google had made these 2 years ago, but they're here now, so I'm happy about that. If you like this video, guys, get subscribed and stay tuned. We've got lots of other headphone reviews coming up. I know Linus is checking out some, I think, LG ones or something like that. And of course, I just checked out those weird Grado hemp headphones, which are over ears. Lots of good stuff. Check it out.